Hi everyone! In this video we will try to analyze all the information we have to date regarding the upcoming new adventure game Colossal Cave 3D. This game is being developed by a newly formed company called Cygnus Entertainment. Cygnus Entertainment was formed by the two legends of the industry, Ken and Roberta Williams, with the assistance of a team of 16 people. For those of you who are unaware of the game, it will be a remake of Colossal Cave Adventure, a 1976 text-based adventure game for the PDP-10 mainframe that is considered today the forefather of the whole genre of adventure games. It was this game that Ken Williams stumbled upon and loved, which led to the creation of the once dominant Sierra Online that associated its name and fame with adventure games. The new 3D remake titled Colossal Cave 3D was announced in late March of 2022 at the latest GDC and is expected by the end of the year. It is currently being developed for PC, Mac and Oculus Quest 2 with the option of more platforms as development progresses. Ken Williams is in charge of the code as chief engineer, while Roberta is creative director, building the narrative and working across all aspects of the project. There are only a few information and even less available footage of the game, but we will try to sum up in this video what we know so far and try to answer some of the main questions that have been raised since the announcement. I would love to know what you think about the upcoming Colossal Cave 3D in the comment section of this video. In the next part, I will try to include all the concerns and questions I have gathered from fans across social media and internet sources and try to provide some answers and assumptions I have regarding the game. I have to mention that I am in no way associated with the development of this game, and the reason I am making this video is to first and foremost spread the word for it, but also to gather concerns from the fans and to try to provide some answers based on my own research. Let's begin with talking about the elephant in the room. So why Colossal Cave and not one of the multitude of old Sierra franchises like King's Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, etc.? Well, first of all, Ken and Roberta Williams have stated that they wanted to do a remake of Colossal Cave Adventure because this is literally the game that started it all. It was this game's executable that Ken Williams found in the computer he was using. The couple loved the game, and it was the reason why Roberta wanted to make a game of her own, asking Ken to program it. The result was Mystery House, the first game ever developed by Online Systems, the company that the Williams have set up. Online Systems evolved to become Sierra Online. As Roberta stated in a recent interview, Colossal Cave started our company. Of course, there is another, less obvious reason: franchise rights. After Sierra Online changed ownership from the Williams couple to CUC and then to several other companies, it ended up to Activision Blizzard. The rights of all Sierra franchises are under Activision, which is now owned by Microsoft. In case Ken and Roberta wanted to do a next chapter or a remake of one of their old school Sierra games, they would have to pay Microsoft for rights. You can understand that doing so without any sort of external funding, we will also discuss this topic later, would have been a very expensive undertaking. Colossal Cave, on the other hand, is free as it was initially developed as freeware to be distributed among the users of the PDP-10 mainframe computer. Even so, Ken Williams called the game's original creator, Don Woods, to get his blessing to combine Unity and Colossal Cave Adventure as an entirely new project. Keep in mind the status of Sierra's franchises being owned by Microsoft, as we will have more on this at the end of the video. After deciding to remake Colossal Cave using modern technology, the choice of using 3D was made for several reasons. First, by being true to the original title, the game should be played at a first-person perspective. Your goal is to navigate the massive cave and explore every nook and cranny of it. 3D works well in such a case when done correctly and with high level of design detail. Second, it is the issue of cost. When developing a game, every studio will tell you that 2D is expensive and labor-intensive. This game was supposed to be a two-person project even though it evolved to include more than 15 employees. 3D environments are more affordable to design as there are several tools available for doing so. Third, it was mentioned by both Ken and Roberta that they liked the idea of a virtual reality game after being presented by another team member of the capabilities modern-day virtual reality technology has. Colossal Cave will also support the Oculus Quest 2 system, and to accommodate for virtual reality technology, there is only one way to go, and that is 3D graphics. Another reason is the actual engine being used to develop Colossal Cave 3D, and this leads us to the next question in this video. We know now, after the announcement of the upcoming game, that it will be developed in Unity. This is done mainly because Ken Williams started learning Unity during the pandemic lockdown because he was bored. As stated by Roberta in a recent interview, Ken was bored and I suggested he wrote a book about Sierra. The process of writing the book brought back long-forgotten memories, resulting in Ken deciding to learn Unity and deciding to make a game. We had no interest in starting another company. We were just looking for something fun to build, and I had the idea of paying homage to the game that inspired our company and changed our lives. Another reason Unity is being used is its multi-platform architecture. This will give the team the opportunity to port the game easily to more systems and platforms. So far, the game has been announced for the PC, Mac, and Oculus Quest 2. However, the team has stated that they are considering more platforms as they will be announced later. So it will not be a surprise to see Colossal Cave 3D available even in consoles in the future, as if they decide to do so, Unity can help them port the game effectively and efficiently. Will there be a crowdfunding campaign? So far, the answer is no. Ken and Roberta Williams have stated that they have been following ex-Sierra staff who try to raise money for new games through crowdfunding and have decided that this is not their way to go. As clarified recently by Ken Williams, one reason we didn't want to do a Kickstarter or take investors is that we wanted to be able to keep working on the game for as long as it takes to build something great and to give the project whatever it needs to make it fun to play. Artistic freedom is important to Psygnosis Entertainment throughout the development process of this new game. That being said, this does not mean that they do not want the game to be a commercial success. It will not be simply a fun project with a freeware nature. Quoting Ken Williams again, there was a version that Marcus, an artist, and I coded that was nearly complete almost a year ago. The two of us built it and it would have been profitable from the first copy. Roberta saw it and thought it was terrible. I thought she was wrong and it was a perfectly fine zero-budget indie effort. Roberta didn't want our name or reputation attached to something that was substandard. I didn't think it was that bad, but Roberta decided to leap into the game with both feet and move the quality bar about 10 miles higher than I had. This meant bringing in a team and giving the game a proper budget. Ken and Roberta Williams are investing their own money into the game in order to develop it in their own pace and without having to answer constantly to investors or backers. Anyone who has participated in crowdfunding video games knows how demanding backers can be and how any delay in development could lead to backlash and negative comments about the game. Personally, I have backed more than 10 games in the last couple of years and none of them is released yet or even near completion. The next question from many fans including me is if we are going to see a physical release. To be honest, I would love a big box with some extra goodies or even a collector's edition. This has not been revealed yet by the development team, but I have been doing a bit of research and found out something. If you visit the game's website, in the press kit there is a file under the art folder titled Collector's Edition boxart.png. The image is this, and it seems that not only will we have a physical release, but there will also be a collector's edition available. The final question in this video is, shall we support the game? The answer to me is short and simple: yes, yes, and the third capital yes. This is the new game by two true industry legends who have created Sierra, a company that has given us some of the most memorable adventure games ever and has associated its name with the whole genre. It will not be a small, fun side project but a full commercial release under their new company Cygnus Entertainment. It will be available in numerous systems and will be great if we, the old school fans of Sierra, can assist in spreading the word for this game and opening it up for new audiences. The new digital distribution platforms will make the game accessible and affordable to anyone. To me though, there is another reason to support this game. I have to mention that this is my own personal assumption, speculation, or whatever you want to call it. Cygnus Entertainment does not have any other IPs yet, as Colossal Cave 3D will be their first game and a possible commercial success will open up a lot of new doors for them. That being said, remember that I mentioned earlier that all Sierra IPs are now owned by Microsoft after they acquired Activision Blizzard. Currently, Microsoft is evaluating the whole portfolio they got. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer mentioned that, "I was looking at the IP list, let's go, King's Quest, Guitar Hero, etc. I believe you know where I'm going with this. If Microsoft decides to fund or produce a new game from the old Sierra franchises, and in the meantime Cygnus Entertainment has a recent commercial success under their belt, then a lot can happen. I cannot think of anyone better to develop a new Sierra IP game other than Sierra's original founders if they can prove it with a successful Colossal Cave 3D in the meantime." That was all for this video, where I have tried to have an early analysis of what to expect from the upcoming Colossal Cave 3D and to answer some questions fans may have. I would love to know what you think about this new Ken and Roberta Williams game in the comments of this video. You can find a lot of adventure game content in my channel, such as complete retrospectives of iconic Sierra franchises and a 2-hour documentary on the rise and fall of the adventure game genre. If you like my content, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing and turning on the notifications for it. Hopefully, we will have more information about Colossal Cave 3D as development progresses and we can share it in a new video. Thank you all for watching.